You are about to know the truth, the answer to the questions a lot of pioneers have been arguing about. Some don't want to hear it, accept it, or believe it. Before you scroll away, just watch this video and get the true state. That's if you truly value your Pi coins. Otherwise, you are welcome to move on. Consensus 2025 was one of the biggest blockchain events of the year, bringing together tech leaders, investors, and visionaries to discuss the future of decentralized finance. Pi Network, a project that has captivated millions with its promise of a decentralized cryptocurrency for everyday users, was right in the middle of it all. Dr. Nicolas Kokkalis, the founder of Pi Network, was invited to speak. This was huge, not just because Pi Network was present, but because the community and investors were desperate for clarity. Would this be the moment that Pi finally moved toward full decentralization? Would this be the announcement that unlocked its true value? The expectations were high, and so was the pressure. When Kokkalis stepped onto the stage, he spoke about Pi Network's vision and the role of AI in blockchain. He emphasized that Pi is working toward decentralization, but acknowledged the technical and governance challenges that come with it. That was the first moment of hesitation. His answer, while reasonable, lacked specifics. What was the timeline? What was the plan? The answers weren't clear, and that uncertainty cast a shadow over what was supposed to be a defining moment for Pi Network. Then came a critical question. Is Pi Network decentralized? Kokkalis explained that decentralization is a process, and that Pi is working toward distributing value fairly through blockchain. But here's the reality. Pi Network is not decentralized in the way major exchanges like Binance and Coinbase require for listing. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, which allow independent nodes to verify transactions, Pi's blockchain has remained largely controlled. The mainnet is still gated, which means transactions are restricted and decisions are centralized within the Pi core team. That's a problem, because in crypto, decentralization isn't just a buzzword, it's the requirement for legitimacy. And without it, major exchanges won't list Pi, investors won't trust it, and the price won't move in the way the community hopes. This became painfully clear after Consensus 2025. Following Kokkalis' speech, Pi coin's price plummeted, dropping 58% from $1.67 to 69 cents. Investors who had bet on a major announcement quickly pulled out, realizing that Pi's future was still uncertain. Even the reveal of a $100 million Pi Network Ventures fund wasn't enough to stop the decline. People weren't just reacting to market movements, they were reacting to the deeper issue of trust. The community had mixed reactions. Some remained hopeful, believing that Pi Network is quietly building towards something big. Others expressed frustration over delays, lack of transparency, and the continued restrictions on the mainnet. The sentiment dropped by 90% in a single day. And the biggest question that remains is when will Pi truly open up? And when will it be recognized as a legitimate cryptocurrency in the wider market? Consensus 2025 was supposed to be Pi's moment. Instead, it left more questions than answers. The crypto world moves fast, and time is running out. If Pi Network doesn't deliver full decentralization soon, it risks losing the trust of the very people who built it into the global movement it is today. So now, the waiting game continues. But how long will people wait? As many people struggle to believe or accept the fact that Pi Network is yet to be decentralized, it is imperative that pioneers wake up to this reality. What do we do next? This is basic knowledge. Till my next video, keep away from scammers and do your own research.
I'll try to speak in binary for you.
I am Nicolas Kokkalis. I am one of the co-founders of Pi Network and heading the technology. Pi Network is a social network with tens of millions of people with its own embedded cryptocurrency, Pi. People have been mining it for the last more than 6 years now. They've been using it, they have been creating apps. And one unique feature about Pi is that every account on the blockchain, before it's activated, it needs to pass identity verification.
All right, so what I want to start with, again, you can give me a really short answer, is in the worlds that each of you are playing within the infra side and in AI, I wanted you to give me kind of the analogous place we are in the technology spectrum, right? So if we think of YouTube and streaming video, are we still in the VHS era? when it comes to what we're doing. So, Nick, let's start with you.
Oh wow! So that's a good question. So I think that every time in history there's technologies that are being invented, and then there's a little bit of lag and a little bit of time between when they are invented and they are actually being massively used. So that's where we are with Gen AI. So especially with the generative AI in general, there has been a leap forward, a breakthrough in what the models can achieve. And now is the time to build great apps and great products. In the same way that, when electricity was created, not every house had it, not every industrialization wasn't there, or when the combustion engine was there, not everyone had a car. What was the exact product was not really known. So that's where we are right now. It's an exciting time to live.
All right, well, the combustion engine, that's what I'm taking away from it. Because the Pi network has millions of people. We found this out the hard way when we were announcing your panel. They went crazy. I don't know how many of them are synthetic. I don't know how many of them are real. But in dealing with the vast numbers that you're dealing with, are you worried that at some point it kind of goes out of control where this massive, this group mass starts to do the things it wants to do, whether you want it or not?
Yeah, that's a problem, a challenge not only for Pi, but for the world going forward, because now with generative AI, it's becoming less and less easy to distinguish a real human from AI. It used to be AI used to be pretty dumb, you could tell immediately, but now it's not that easy. So Pi opted for following a unique approach, which was to KYC every single individual using identity verification, turning your head left and right, and all that stuff. And we think this approach is going to be very useful, especially in the future, when you want to distinguish between 1,000 fake bots and 1,000 real people, especially in a world where you want to be able to meritocratically and fairly distribute value or other applications like this. You need to be able to identify who's human and who's not.
Davis, when you're talking to the Pi Army, and they're vocal, are they vocal about decentralization or are they vocal about Pi?
So I think that in general, when we're thinking of decentralization and AI, and there's another aspect. There is, of course, the technical challenges and how we can embed this into technology, how we can do training, how we can distribute the reports. But there is also the concept of value capture. So in a future where more and more work is done by agents and by AI, it is important to make sure that the value is not only captured by a few individuals or a few companies, and it can be captured by a large number of people. And that's where blockchain and our projects can come to play. And the founders of those projects and the people who are working on it need to come to think about how blockchain can help with the value capture.
So when we think of, you have 30 seconds.
Okay. So I think that I will take this as follows. I will say that people need to build great apps, great products. Once you have a great product, you will trump everything else. And in order for you to do this, you need to have a lot of trials, and today is a great time with generative AI, where there's a lot more people who can create and try products. So networks that have a lot of people will naturally be able to have a competitive advantage in being able to empowering them and creating a lot of different products and a lot of different values. By having value, eventually you're going to convince everyone else to accept it.